Can you switch back and forth between a keto diet and a low carb diet? That's a good question. We're actually going to go through the ins and outs of that today in this video.
So I would say it really comes down to what came first, right? Kind of the chicken or the egg type of a scenario, which meaning were you low carb and then you want to dip into ketosis, or were you keto and you want to go low carb? Because they will make a difference, those two different scenarios. So let's start with the first scenario, being that you have been following a low carb diet and you dip into ketosis. Is that okay? I would say yes.
I would agree and say yes.
Yeah.
So the first advantage is pretty obvious. It can actually speed up or enhance your fat loss, weight loss that's going on, right?
Right, and I would say another thing that it can enhance by dipping into ketosis when you're typically following low carb is that it makes you more metabolically flexible. And what that means is that when you are metabolically flexible, your body can run on whatever energy substrate is available. So you could easily go from running on glucose from your diet or that your liver's making, running on free fatty acids, or running on ketones, because there are some ketones being produced by your body.
Right. Another advantage is that the ketogenic diet has been shown to be very advantageous with specific health conditions. I mean, if you've got severe blood sugar control issues, a ketogenic diet can certainly help with that. Metabolic syndrome, which is a combination of high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high triglycerides, low HDL, and increased waist circumference, as well as some neurogenic or neurologic disorders such as Alzheimer's and epilepsy. There's been some good research about that, or those disorders, and the ketogenic diet.
Yeah, so there are definitely advantages. And of course, if you have a chronic disease like that, it would be under your doctor's care. So you'd certainly want to let them know that you've changed your diet. As far as disadvantages of dipping into ketosis, I would say the only thing that really comes to my mind is that it definitely will limit your food choices.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will say that you might already be doing this subconsciously if you are following a low carb diet. I would say that that's true for me. I follow a low carb diet on a daily basis, but if I practice intermittent fasting, which I often do, it's not unusual for my body to produce ketones. Now, I have in the past dipped into ketosis to get us some testing done, and it's not hard for my body to switch back and forth again, which I can see my husband's look on his face. It is difficult for your body. So let's go into this next scenario, which is a little bit more your case.
Okay.
All right. Are you feeling bad for yourself?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So if you have been on a ketogenic diet for a long period of time, is it okay to change to a low carb diet? So I guess I would put myself in the yes column.
I'm going to put myself in the no column.
Right.
That's for me personally, right?
Yeah.
So the answer really basically comes down to your metabolism.
Yeah, and so I would say actually this is something that if you've been on a ketogenic diet and you've reached your ideal weight, upping your carbohydrates is actually a good way to maintain your weight loss. So you can just raise them to the point where you are maintaining them. I would also say that an advantage of going from keto to low carb is that you are getting more of a variety of nutrients into your diet.
Right.
So not everybody goes low carb or keto because they want to lose weight. Some people just want the health factors. Well, a low carb diet would give you more variety of nutrients coming into your diet.
Right. And if you're not feeling well on your ketogenic diet, if you maybe aren't consuming a really well balanced or well formulated ketogenic diet, and you have some nutrient deficiencies, and you may not be feeling too great, coming out of ketosis into low carb, kind of introducing a fuller array of nutrients could be a good thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Now, of course, the disadvantage, and it's hard to overlook, is if you are trying to lose weight through this type of eating, if you are in ketosis and you are getting steady progress, if you raise your carbohydrate intake, it is likely that it will hamper your weight loss or even possibly cause you to gain weight.
Right, and this is the situation that I have. And we're not talking about just a few pounds that you get from restoring your glycogen reserve and those things. We're talking about, for me, I get a 5 to 10 pound weight gain pretty easily if I am stepping out of ketosis into low carb. It just seems to work against me.
I would say a second disadvantage of being keto and then moving into low carb is that it could, depending on your metabolism, cause a rise in your fasting blood glucose in the morning. And I would say that this applies to you as well.
Yeah, this is absolutely a problem for me. If I go out of ketosis and kind of go into low carb range for, maybe a period of days, like if we're on vacation or something, I definitely start to see that morning fasting blood glucose number just kind of steadily rise until it's up, over 100, and kind of in that, that kind of area where you want to be concerned about it. And, being keto for almost 4 years now, this shows that I still have, a bit of insulin resistance. And yeah, it's the way it is.
Yeah, and then when we get home from vacation, for instance, you'll go right back into your keto diet. I'll go right back into my low carb diet. But I think that the takeaway is this. For anyone who's just getting into this lifestyle, we recommend starting low carb. If you are doing good with that, you're making progress, you are feeling good, then you can stay low carb. If you need a little bit more of a push, you can always lower your carbohydrate intake into the keto range or practice intermittent fasting, which can encourage the production of ketones. I would say the biggest takeaway for staying healthy in this lifestyle is the quality of the carbohydrates. Stick with the whole carbs, stay away from the refined, the cookies, cakes, and candies, right? The 3 C's, and you will be doing great. If you need somewhere to start, probably our best option we have for you for free is the 2 Fit Docs starter kit. So we'll point you to that.
Yep.
And anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. Thanks so much for watching, and hope this was helpful. See you in the next video.
See ya.